trained and
Yeah.
eventually came back with some dollars,
Wow.
It was so it all started from Ado Ekiti, and that is the power of the digital economy that we are in. So you
Yeah.
can be in Ado Ekiti and
Mm.
you can be influencing decisions across borders.
Welcome once again to Femi Oguntayo Unfiltered podcast. Today on the show, I have with me an Amazon best-selling author, a sought-after speaker, and a trusted digital marketer consultant with a track record of helping businesses grow online. His widely praised book, WhatsApp Sales Blueprint, is often referred to as the Bible of WhatsApp marketing, a powerful guide that has helped countless of entrepreneurs generate millions of naira in sales. Now based in the UK, even though he used to be based in Ado Ekiti, the Ekiti State capital, he partners with entrepreneurs and brands to boost visibility, increase revenue, and delivers real measurable growth through smart, data-driven digital strategies. But it doesn't stop at businesses. He is also a passionate educator who shares practical marketing insights on his YouTube channel. Beyond that, he also volunteers as a youth mentor with UK-based non-profit, helping young people discover and unlock their full potentials. If you're looking for someone who truly understands how to turn attention into impact and strategies into sales, then you want to make sure you stick around for this one. Ladies and gentlemen, join me on the show today as I welcome none other person than Sola Mathew. Thank you so much, Mr. Sola Mathew, for joining us today. Really appreciate it. It's a great honor to have you. I know you must be very busy, but thanks for sparing us some minutes here today on the show. Really grateful to have you here.
No problem at all. It's always my pleasure. I'm happy with the great stuff that you're also doing.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I know your base used to be at Ekiti, and well, you were one of the people that would say that we would call like the tech bros back then, in Ekiti State and in Ado Ekiti, and a lot of us, you've inspired a lot of us. Someone like me, I've always appreciated anything IT, anything tech. I've always been this advocate of we just revolutionizing the minds of young people in Ekiti State, for example, to really be focused on tech, because I know that's the future right now.
Yeah.
So I'm meeting someone like you in several occasions. We met before this, we were talking about how we met and all that. So so I just wanted to ask you, what was your tell us your story, starting. I know you started your journey. I don't really know if you started from Ado Ekiti, but tell us how your journey was like as a tech personality or as a tech bro in Ado Ekiti in those days. In a city like Ado Ekiti, because when people hear Ado Ekiti, they feel like, oh, it's not. It's, at least I wouldn't want to downplay our efforts when it comes to tech in Ado Ekiti, but I know when it comes to ranking in the country, I don't know if it is really up there when it comes to IT, So what was your experience like? What was your story starting from Ado Ekiti? Because now you are global, like your name, like the name of like the name of your brand.
Yeah.
So tell us the story.
Well, Femi, thank you so much for the opportunity. So basically, my story in Ado Ekiti started sometimes in 2004. So I came into Ado Ekiti after I lost my mom. So I lost my dad maybe some years back. I was just about 6 years old when I lost my dad. So when I lost my mom, we had to move from Jalingo. I was born in Jalingo, Taraba State, northern Nigeria.
Wow.
So we had to move with my siblings. We have to move to Ekiti State. So when I was in Ekiti, things were quite tough. But to cut the long story short, I eventually was able to gain admission to the university. But before that, because immediately I completed my secondary school education at Ado Grammar School, which was
Oh,
one of the best schools in Ekiti.
sure,
So yeah.
definitely.
So when I completed my secondary school, I've always loved computers. I don't know why. So my guardian there that I was living with advised that maybe I should go and learn computer. So
Mm.
I was living with my brother, so they were supposed to make me learn, all this typing where people will be able to type, you make money.
Yeah.
I'm just grateful I didn't even learn that. So my brother's wife then, she wasn't even his wife at the time, I think. So she was like, "Oh, instead of typing, because that was
Mm.
what she was doing," and she said it wasn't. So you type for long hours, but she didn't make too much money. She was like, "Okay, maybe I should go learn computer engineering. That is, it's just basically what they call computer technicians, where you'll be able to repair computers."
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, so my brother enrolled me in one of the places then, and it was from there that I
Mm.
started my computer life. And then I was able to, it was quite an interesting time. So at that time, I was like, okay, I needed to share this knowledge of how to repair computer with the world.
Mm.
So I remember going to a cafe. It's called Friendly's Cafe.
Mm.
It's now, I think, I don't know, maybe that hotel is still there, but it's called Friendly's Hotel now. So
Mm.
we'll
Yeah,
go to
friendly.
at Adebayo. Yeah. So
I
we'll go,
remember friendlies.
you remember Friendly's? Yeah.
I think
Eh,
I'm sure it's still there.
Yeah, so when I got to Friendly, so I would go there. Sometimes at some point I made friends with those guys, those
Okay.
guys there because they would come to repair their computers at our shop where I was learning. So sometimes they would give me free credit. Sometimes I would buy, and I started learning how to blog. Then I just searched for how to build website for free. So I came about
Mm.
Blogger, and that's why I started blogging. Even though at the time I was just writing some of my own, but I also copy from other websites. I didn't really know the fundamentals, but I just started learning. And
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
got admission to university eventually, that blogger was what I was using eventually to, promote some people in school, even some of the student
Mm.
union. I became a bit
Mm.
popular in university. So
Okay.
that
What
actually,
what university was that?
yeah, that was Ekiti State University.
Oh, okay, great. I just wanted
Yes.
to have that on record too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ekiti State
Sure, sure.
University. So from there, I was able to sponsor some of my school fees even as well. But thanks to some other people who also supported me, like
Mm.
Mrs. Omokwe. She is, she used to be like the um, secretary to all the governors in Ekiti State
Mm.
until maybe this current governor Bao. She didn't do that for him, but he's still
Mm.
consultant, I believe. So
Okay.
that woman actually supported me in my studies and some other people as well. So, and that's how I started. And then when I got to NYC, I came in contact with an organization called Mind the Gap. Thank God
Mm.
for that organization, because before
Mm.
I got to meet them, I was searching for how to do digital marketing for free. I didn't have money, so most of the things I was doing was free. So I
Yeah,
came in
yeah.
contact with a course called um, Google Digital Garage. So if you search
Okay.
for fundamentals of digital marketing online, you will see
Mm.
that
Mm.
course is still there. In
Yeah.
fact, that course is quite enlightening. So
Yeah.
that's when I started learning the fundamentals. And eventually today, by the grace of God, that hustle that more like started like a side hustle has
Mm.
become like my lifelong career. So
Wow.
that's basically how I got started.
Wow. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like your journey is also similar to mine because I've always loved computer too.
Wow.
Like I mean, thankfully for someone like for me, unlike maybe many other children in Nigeria,
Yeah.
we grew up with a computer in our room. My
Wow.
dad had a computer, like all those desktop, all those desktop computers. So we'll be playing around it, But even though they still taught us computer in school, but all those theories, people don't
Yeah.
really take it seriously. But because of that computer that we had, we were able to practicalize what we were even being taught in school. Sometimes they will give us those gaskets that they use in saving stuff. Then I don't know if you remember all those
Yeah. Yeah.
black,
Yeah. Yeah.
very flat black disc. They call it floppy
Yeah.
disk or something like that.
Floppy disks. Yeah, you're
That was
correct.
what we used to copy games and all that. We install it on the desktop. So we've always been using computer. So that's since then I've always been interested in IT and all that. So I mean, hearing your story and how you started, and I don't think you ever like done any job outside of IT since you graduated or anything?
Well, so when I moved, I actually did some.
Okay.
So that's all I've always been doing. In fact, when I
Mm,
graduated, when I finished NYC, I just started my own business then in
mm.
Nigeria. But when I moved to the UK, because I moved to the UK 3 years ago, in fact, today would be exactly 3 years ago, three
Really?
years that I moved to the
Wow,
UK.
that's great. Interesting. That's great. That's great.
Yeah. So when I moved to the UK, I couldn't find digital marketing job. So
Mm,
I then began some job. So I did what we call fraud specialist. So basically, it's a customer service where with one of the toppest banks in the UK.
mm,
So what I was doing is I was consulting for them in not really like I was consulting as a customer service rep, but
okay.
we were dealing with fraud transactions. For example, maybe somebody wants to make bank transfer. I mean, maybe
Mm,
they want to make payment with their card, and then
mm,
the system might think is fraud, and then the system
yeah.
would block the
We block
transaction.
it. Yeah.
So we are the ones that they will speak with.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so I did that job. Even though I was doing that job, I was also doing digital marketing on the side because I was having like a few clients that I was doing just to keep up with what
Sure.
I've been doing. But right
Sure.
now, I now work, full time as a digital marketer.
Wow, great, great. I think I saw your recent post on LinkedIn and all that.
Yeah.
So congratulations once again.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Yeah. I remember one of the first time we met,
Hmm.
there was a training you organized in Ekiti. I think it was the Mutual House. A lot of people know that building in Adek. It's one of the tallest buildings. It's funny that it's one of. It's, I don't know if it's still the tallest building right now, but back then it was the tallest building we had in Ekiti. So and
Hmm.
we met there. You held a Google training. I think we learned about how to set up Google business. How to set up your visibility on Google and all that. And it was free. I don't know how that came about, but but it was really great. And
Yeah.
I think till today, the training was the one that helped me in setting up the Fountain Breaker business page on
Wow.
Google now. So I
Wow.
mean, it was really good, and we all benefited from that. So what was the drive? What was the driving force? Pushing you to do things like that, especially in a state like Ekiti State, doing Google trainings like that for free to help young people. What was the drive behind all that, and how did that go about? What was the success stories that you got from organizing such trainings?
Well, so you see, it's always been my passion because I believe in when you are built, you should
Mm,
also build others,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's always been my passion. But for Ekiti, it's more like a very great passion for me too, because
Mm,
I
yeah.
grew up, I spent so many time in Ekiti as well growing up. So I
Mm,
believe that it's good to give back to the society.
mm,
So and because I was also given to, so I needed to also give to others.
mm.
So in particular, what happened, I told you that I made an organization called Mind the Gap when I was
Okay.
in NYC. So during NYC, they trained us to some extent. In fact, they had to sponsor me and some other
Mm,
people across the different 36 states and including
mm,
FCT to Lagos.
mm,
So because they partnered with Google themselves. So they brought
mm,
us to Lagos, trained us, and eventually I became a trainer. You will
mm.
probably remember Michael Peculiar. Michael
Yeah,
Peculiar,
I know. Michael too is one of the great. I'm sure I'm definitely going to have him on my podcast very soon too.
yeah,
He's
he's
also
a
one of the
great guy.
great
So
guys.
Michael
Yeah.
Peculiar was actually one of the trainers at the time before me.
Mm,
So,
mm,
I met Michael Peculiar in Lagos, and that's how we
mm,
first connected. So when I came back to Ekiti, me, Michael Peculiar, and Temitope and wherever we all worked on Google training. So for
mm.
that particular training that you mentioned, it was sponsored by Google. I think it was called Digital Nigeria at that time. And the
Okay.
training happened to be in celebration of Nigerian independence, October 1.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. I think I
yeah,
remember. Yeah.
yeah. So I was part of those people that trained that day, and it was quite amazing
Mm,
because we just wanted people to be aware. I had
mm,
opportunity, in fact, because when I started, learning all of these things, I was able to build a business around digital, and I realized that there are many people in Ekiti, especially that
mm,
they could also gain from this thing. So that's why I was so passionate to do things like that. It was not even only in Ado that we did our training. I have
Mm.
moved from different local governments to others in Ekiti
Oh,
State.
okay. Wow.
In
Wow.
fact, my first travel, okay, not my first travel abroad, but the second time I traveled out of Nigeria was because of this Google Digital Training.
Yeah.
They sponsored me to go train people in Liberia, and
Mm.
I was the person that trained. It was different universities in in
Yeah.
Lagos.
Yeah. Wow. I
So
think I remember that. Yeah.
yeah. So regarding success story that you asked, in fact, I'm so anytime there are many people that I probably would not know again, but
Mm.
sometimes when we have interactions online, they'll tell me that, oh, they were in one of my sessions, and most of my
Mm.
session I don't just share digital training, I also share my story with them, and they were
Mm.
people who are always inspired to do more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there are some businesses that have started just because of those trainings. And just
Mm.
like you were able to set up your business on Google My
Sure.
Business.
Sure.
There's another guy during just that training that he was able to set up his solar business. Today now he's got businesses from abroad right
Mm.
from
From
there in Ekiti State.
Adokiti.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, which.
So
Yeah. 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 You go on. I think You're still talking.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I just want to say that. So it's actually something I'm passionate about, and that I'm grateful for Mind the Gap, especially for giving me that platform to be able
Yeah.
to do that on a large scale. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I mean, it's. I'm sure a lot of people will be giving you feedbacks on some of those training, definitely, and
Yeah.
which actually leads me to the next question I wanted to ask you, because there's this belief that when you are in a local setting, like let's say Adwekiti now, in quotes, people feel like maybe you have to go to Lagos or Abuja for you to like make it globally, things like that kind of mindset. So I just want the essence of things like this, of discussions like this, to correct those kind of mindset, and also let people understand that you don't have to leave Adwekiti for you to go global. I mean, you're an example of that. I'm also an example of that. I'm in the United States right now. The first time I traveled outside the country, I was living in Adwekiti. You already said you traveled to Liberia right from Adwekiti. You already said someone also was selling solar and he's gotten clients from outside the country. So I mean,
Yeah.
I just feel like if you're connected to the internet anywhere you are in the world, you can make it big and you can make it international. So tell me more about that. How do you think people can realize that they don't have to leave Adwekiti to make it globally, especially in this time of digital marketing and digital AI and all those things? So tell me, I just wanted to say something about this. What do you think about the notion that you have to leave Adwekiti to go to Lagos or FCT or Ibadan to really be, to really go global,
Well, there are two parts to it, to be honest. I need to be honest about this, because if you don't have to leave Adwekiti, probably I would have still been in Adwekiti. but we have to be honest about it. In this world of global economy, or what we call the digital economy, you can be anywhere in the world and not be limited. All right, especially like you said, I was in Adwekiti when I first had my first travel was to the Gambia. I wrote a book then, Profitable WhatsApp Business, and one man read that book. I don't know how you got to know about the book. I think it must have been from one of my broadcasts or from someone else that I shared about it. And then it was like, wow, I love this. Can you come and train people in the Gambia? I was like, this is a scam.
I mean, I got to go see Boda.
Yeah,
From where to where?
Until eventually we arranged.
Yeah.
He got my details. He sent me my flight ticket. I was like, oh, this is not going to be money ritual. But the kind of the person that I like to take risks. So I went. I boarded the plane free of charge, accommodation free of charge. I trained and eventually I came back with some dollars.
Wow.
It was so. It all started from Adwekiti, and that is the power of the digital economy that we are in. So you can be in Adwekiti, and you can be influencing decisions across board. And I thank God for the government of Ekiti State, especially, even though we are not yet there, but Ekiti State government, they are actually really trying. For example, during the time of Governor Fayemi.
Yeah, I wanted to say that because Dr. Fayemi really, he was really tech focused. Like one of the questions I even asked was centered around the fire, because during those period that we're talking about is during Dr. Fayemi's era. And I know you
Yeah.
did a lot when it comes to. So go on. Sorry for
Yeah.
calling it.
So during the time of Governor JKF Fayemi, what happened is that, initially in his first time, he wanted, was it him, or he wanted to give every student computer order, but it's the
I think
second time.
It did.
Yeah.
He did, because it's part of the question. He gave out like almost 50,000 laptops to secondary school students.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
So,
my brother got one there. I remember that.
you got one.
Secondary school. Yeah, in secondary school then. Yeah, one small laptop like that. That is solar charged, solar powered. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but in the second time, it's actually where I really, I was already out of school. So in the second time, he was promoting Ekiti to the global economy, trying to bring people, and he also started something I really love, which is called the knowledge.
Ekiti Knowledge Zone.
Ekiti Knowledge Zone. And I happened to meet with someone called Akin. God, I must not forget this.
Akin your body. Is it
Akin? Thank you very much. I'm sorry, sir, in case you are watching this.
I'm sure you understand. Yeah, I'm sure you understand.
This has been really good to me, So he came to our hub in Ekiti okay, maybe that's another story. But so Ekiti Knowledge Zone happened to be something that I really cherish, because it will promote that idea of the digital economy that we're talking about. So, and in fact, there was a government organization in was it non-governmental or government? I can't remember. It's called the Innovation, UK Innovation. They just send me an email, because we have a website, and right from Ekiti, I have a website we're developing. So they just sent me an email that they wanted to conduct something in Ekiti State, that will I be available to work on it. So we sent our proposal, but I was not able to meet up with the proposal. But eventually, the person that they hired to come and do that, more like a study in Ekiti State.
Yeah.
The person was searching for hubs in Ekiti State. The person came back to contact me again. So we organized. So we did the training, the visibility studies, everything. So people were coming to Go Global Hub, which I started in Ekiti State. And so they came. It was the first co-working space in Ekiti State. So they came there, and we started this study. And eventually, now I don't know, maybe you might have seen it, but someone like Odun, I think Odun Olabinton, there's a medical doctor now. She won about maybe £4,000 to start a business in Ekiti to fund her business. That came about as a result of that innovation project.
Oh, great.
So and how did they get to know us? They started, how did they get to know me? For example, they started by searching. They just searched for something about Ekiti, and I happened to be the one that was most visible when it comes to online activities. So you can be in Ekiti. In Ekiti, I was doing projects for people abroad. For example, building websites. So even if you don't have the skill now, this is the best time to start developing the skill. And that is one of the things that someone like Akin Oyebode and the project we did in Ekiti State then, where we were given free trainings for people with Ekiti State government partner with Microsoft, and were given free training. Do you know that not many people took advantage of that training? And that was very something very sad to me.
Yeah, but that's one of the things.
Yeah, but there are some people over to today that they were so happy that they took that training, they got the certification, and that's what launched them into the IT world. And there from Ekiti, they are still enjoying themselves.
Yeah, definitely. Like currently, the for example, AI, for example, now is the new thing. It's here to stay, whether we like it or not. And currently, the global worth of AI right now is about maybe $300 billion currently, and it's projected to be maybe even close to like 500 billion in 2027 and almost 2 billion in 2030. So people, if anybody sleeping on AI right now, is just not seeing the future. Just like back then, so like you said, those opportunities, a lot of people were not taking advantage of it. And today, those that have taken advantage of it know where they have gotten to, where their life is right now. So, in a state like Ekiti State, how do you think people can, take advantage of, let's say, the advent of AI right now, digital marketing, things like that. How do you think people can really take advantage of that? How do you think the young people, for example, can really see that this is where they need to focus their energy on? I know there are other stuff to focus on, maybe politics and all that. We already focus on politics. We know the politics of Ekiti. We know that. We know, yeah. But digital marketing, AI, technology, I know that's the future. And it can still, I always say it still as this state that is still very ripe, that, has not really been exploited that much. We need to really, I still feel like if people focus, if we catch the young people, like catch them young right now, in the next, let's say 10 years or 20 years, it might be the Silicon Valley of Nigeria. And that's, I think that was the dream the government of Ekiti State had then when they started this knowledge zone and all that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where the project is right now, but how do you think the young people we can leverage on the advent of AI and the rise in global, technology and stuff like that?
Yeah, so AI is quite amazing. For those who might not, maybe they're watching, but they don't know what AI is, that's what it's called, artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
For example, before now, if you wanted to search something, you just go on Google, you type it, you say, maybe you want to buy a shoe, you just say, which shoe is the best, or maybe whatever, you just search, you put that keyword. Now, today, if you want to, or maybe you want to learn about something, you go to Google, you go to YouTube. But today, if you want to learn about something, you just need to download something like Chatgpt or Grok or Gemini. Now, when you download it, you chat with them like human beings, and they give you these answers like crazy, like you're speaking with a human. So So if you are listening, because I also want this to be so valuable for you that are watching. Yeah. So if you're watching, you can download an app called Chatgpt. All right. And you can download Grok, Grok. All right. That one is done by Elon Musk, the richest man. So these are AI.
And there's Gemini.
Yeah, that you can use. So you can, for example, if you have even if you don't have an idea, if you don't have an idea, you can type it there. You say, hello, ChatGPT, or hello, Grok, can you help me develop an idea that can help me make money? Maybe help me make $500 monthly or whatever. And that thing is going to give you everything that you need. It can also link you to some videos or to some website that you need to go to. That is how powerful that is. All right. In fact, just last week, somebody reached out to me. I don't know how they got my email. They just sent me an email that, can I do a video for them? I should send them codes. I just told them, okay, for now, what I charge is like 700 to maybe 500. They shall negotiated. At the end of the day, I did 30 seconds video that I did for them. They paid me £500. Now, if you convert £500 to Naira, it's probably going to be above 1 million Naira.
And,
and that is, even if I was not in UK, I'll probably have gotten that gig just because I was sharing something valuable on my Instagram and on my social media page. So, you can be in Ekiti State and do something like that. Now, what is the step? For example, you can even start by having a YouTube channel. For example, you could type it on ChatGPT and say, hello, ChatGPT, I want to, because there are about 3 major niches that make people a lot of money when it comes to online content. So I'm going to start with content creation. So for example, you can create content in the health niche. A lot of people are searching for things that has to do with health, how to lose weight, how to do this. Secondly, you can do relationship. All right. So many people don't know how to woo a woman, for example. I struggled with that for some time. I remember
everybody.
The first year I fell in love with
mostly tech bros.
Yeah, I fell in love with a particular girl, and I was like, my friends in secondary school, sorry, I would always tell me, go and talk to this guy. I was so shy until I couldn't meet her again. But yeah, so then relationship, and then sometimes some people don't know how to perform well on bed and all of that. So those are still falling under relationship. And the third one is maybe money or finance, how to make money, so you can create content in any of these niches. You don't need to know anything about it. Just tell ChatGPT, hello ChatGPT, I want to can you give me 50 ideas that I can talk about for the next 50 days about money?
Sure,
And
sure.
it will give you. So, for example, let's say it gives you the first one as to make money, you need a skill. What do? You just hold your phone, record it, post it on YouTube or post it on Instagram. If you, the reason I recommend YouTube is because with YouTube over time, YouTube start paying you. All right.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
for example, if you have like 1,000 subscribers, 400, 4,000 hours of watch view, you start
Yeah.
getting paid. I am also getting paid from YouTube right now. So, so you can do something like that. Now,
Yeah.
that is just content creation. Now, imagine that you now know, maybe you study computer science or you don't even go to school. There are so many people that don't go to school. I have friends that didn't go to school, but they learn how to do computer programming. And today, they are making good money from either employment or from, also creating their apps or websites.
Yeah.
You can also do something as simple as Canva. So Canva is an app that you can use to create designs. You don't need to be a
Designs.
graphic designer.
Graphic design, yeah. Seriously.
So
Canva has
Canva app.
actually made it easy for graphic designing now. I use Canva every time. So yeah.
In fact, do you know that there was a time that there was a particular graphic designer, very good guy in Nigeria. He used to abuse people who were using Canva. So somehow his laptop got damaged for some time. And then he now said, okay, let me try Canva. Do you know that that is one of the major tools that he's currently using now? He has come out.
Sure. I mean, there are millions of templates, millions of design on Canva that you can use. So those are things. Yeah, sure.
So these are just simple things. You can use, there's a free app called InShot that you can use to edit video on your phone. Even right from your phone. You don't need to start with a computer. Over time, you can now, because that phone itself is as powerful as anything else. So these are the different things. Then for Ekiti, leverage skills. Go online instead of just watching TikTok. Do you know that there was a time that Google released search results for Nigeria? In fact, if you go on, if someone goes to Google Trend, you'll be able to see that. And in that year, many of the searches that were coming from Nigeria, from Nigerian people, they were Naira beds and all these things.
Can you imagine?
It's silly.
Yeah.
But if you go to the same year, India, they were searching for things like Chatgpt, AI. That is why you see India is growing where it's growing, because we are not focusing on the right thing. So I'm begging you, if you are watching this, start developing skills. Get interested in artificial intelligence, for example. Start building skill in, and I think that our governments do need to implement this even from secondary school. In China, for example, they've mandated it. Every child, right from I think primary school, need to start learning AI. You know, when we're
I saw the news. I saw the news. I saw the
when
news.
we were growing up in Nigeria, you remember that there was a time that all these things, they'll say this one is techno phone, this one is from China. Then we used to abuse that. If somebody's phone rang, then
and it's a China phone. It's a China phone.
China phones are even one of the best in the world.
They are competing with the U. I mean, the US is trembling right now. I mean, the US, so they're always China. China is like their major problem right now, because they know those guys are like. And most times when people go to China, they come back to the US and say, "Oh, well, these people have gone. Though. Like they are like in the future right now." So and they started like people started saying, "Oh, this is China phone made in China." They always see it as low quality, but today they are the leaders in when it comes to tech and IT and everything. So yeah, I believe we need to start very young. I don't know what the government can do. Maybe put it in the curriculum, focus on computer studies and all that. I don't know. I think we lose more interest day by day when it comes to computer studies in Nigeria, which is really alarming because that's the future. If we are losing interest in things like that, what does the future, holds for us if we are not focusing on computer studies and IT? So I mean, those are really, really salient. But thank you so much for sharing those. Parts of training and acquiring those AI skills and stuff like that. So I mean, you also did some marketer like you've mentioned earlier, and I know when it comes to business, there is nothing that beats digital marketing, because before even computer marketing is always the most important office or unit in any organization, because that's where the customers come in, So when you have an organization, even if you are selling, if you're a boutique and you are selling clothes, if your boutique is just there and nobody sees your boutique, You just be opening the shop every day and you'll be looking at your clothes. Nobody's buying them,
Yeah.
So if you have someone who goes out, that's why you see all those Igbo boys. When you go to Fayoshi Market, some of them will even be at the gate. They won't be at their shop. They'll be at the gate because they know that it's not just sitting at the shop. You have to go to the gate, get someone that needs the product, then you take it to the seller. So marketing is very important. And now in this era of digital, globalization and everything, digital marketing is very, very important. People are making millions as digital marketers these days. What do you think local business owners in Ekiti State need to do to attract, more customers, not just locally, even international? How do you think they can utilize the tools that are online these days when it comes to digital marketing? Because we know it's very important to drive business.
Yeah, that is a very good question. So it depends on the kind of business that person is into, but at least the basic, even if you don't have a website, which you should have in this world, there's someone called Strife Masiwa. Is the person who started Econet in Nigeria, then the one that now turned to Airtel, right?
Airtel, yeah.
So Strife Masiwa, he said something. He said, if your business does not have a website, it's more like your business does not exist, and I believe that. Right. So at least start having, well, if you don't have a website, maybe you don't have the finance to start a website, you can start with a social media platform and start, like what we mentioned earlier, Google My Business. For example, if somebody was searching for something online, they should be able to see your business. And Google My Business is absolutely free. Just type how to set up a Google business profile, because it's now called Google Business Profile.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, so set up a Google business profile so that when somebody is searching for a business, they'll be able to see it online, and keep posting on that so that, people will discover you. That is one. Two, have a social media presence, right? Where you can be posting the things that you are doing in terms of your business. For example, you can be selling clothes and be selling it in different places, right? So there is a particular lady, she's not out of Nigeria as well. So this lady, she used to be in Lagos. She doesn't even, she doesn't own this clothes. So she'll just have an Instagram page, and then she'll be posting, she'll go to one store, they'll give her different clothes. And then I think eventually those people created a WhatsApp group, they will send these products to them. And then she'll copy the product, she'll put it on her status or put it on Instagram. And then when people say they want to order it, she contact that vendor in Lagos and Alaba or whatever it is. And then the person sends, excuse me, the person sends this product to the person that wants to buy without them knowing that it's coming from the vendor.
It's coming from the vendor.
This girl is making money. Right now, she's doing something similar, even while she's abroad. All right. You can set up things like that. Then after you've now started with the organic marketing, which is the free marketing where you just keep posting, all right, you now need to probably learn how to run ads, simple ads like Facebook ads, so that you can, because that one is faster, you can reach your audience. You can, for example, let's say you are selling like women clothes only. You can run adverts targeting only women in certain location. For example, you want to target women in Lagos, you want to target women in Kwara or anywhere,
which will get to your target audience directly.
It will get to them directly. If you also sell maybe only men, or you sell both, you can target all of that. Then if you don't know how to do it, you can hire someone to do it for you, and then you can keep working on your business. All right. So I think those are the basics to start with. So start by getting your business online so that people can be able to know about it. And then maybe if you want to run advert, you can run advert for your business. There's a guy called Advic, right? So he does agri products, and he started exporting abroad now. And he started from Ekiti State. All right. And most of his products are also in Ekiti. I mean, he's exporting from Ekiti, exporting around the world. Advid. In fact, this guy was the first guy who gave me an opportunity to work in his office when I started in Ekiti State. Yeah. So, and today he's going global. Yeah. So you can start from Ekiti State and export to the world as well.
Thank you. I mean, a lot of young people might want to give excuses like, oh yeah, you don't have 24/7 electricity power supply in Nigeria, not to talk of Ekiti State, and infrastructural wise, there are no even cafes anywhere, there are no Wi-Fi, blah blah blah. They might want to say all that.
but we've had success stories like people you were mentioning, you yourself,
Yeah.
myself. A lot of people have done well when it comes to digital. I mean, in a tech, tech wise and all that. So I don't think those might be excuses, but yeah, maybe the government can do better when it comes to infrastructure and maybe power and whatever. But those are just mere excuses to me. So because we have success stories, we have people
Yeah.
who have used the same resources that you are complaining is not enough and have made it for themselves. So, but in this area of people saying, "Oh, the resources are minimal," I don't think we even have enough cyber cafes in Ekiti. I mean, I don't know the last time you were in Ekiti, but I mean, as at the time I was in Ekiti, I don't think we have a lot. I mean, it's so sad to be saying this, but yeah, but I know that people have moved from the era of cyber cafe anyway, but
Yeah.
there are still some in Ibadan, for example. I remember when I was living in Ibadan, there was a place, and which that's not the only place, but there are places where you can go to as a young person and just go with your laptop, and when you
Yeah.
sit down there, they have Wi-Fi. You can connect it. It's like you buying time at the cafe, but it's not like you're using their computer. You go with your own computer. They will put on a Gen 247 there.
Yeah.
So I don't think there are ops like that in Ekiti where, because recently I was talking to my brother to do something for me, and she was like, "Oh, there is no place." I was like, "Are you serious right now? This
Well,
is 2025, So
even though I'm not in Ekiti, I'm still following because I love Ekiti. I still follow the trend a lot.
yeah,
So
yeah.
there are, people complain that there are no, of course, like you said, the government needs to do more, right? But I read a book called No Excuses by Brent Tracy. I think people should go and read that book. You need to take responsibility for your life as well.
Sure.
Don't just blame everybody for things. Blame yourself too. So in Ekiti, many people will even say that there's no light, you see that they still use their phone to do things online. All right, they will
That's
go
the
on
thing.
social media platform,
That's
play
the
TikTok.
thing. You still use
they will
TikTok.
complain. They will complain there's no light, there's no this, there's no that. You need to start working on these things, even yourself. I understand it might be easy. For example, here we also pay for light, we pay for things.
Sure,
It's just that
sure.
when you pay for it, you still get it. So in Ekiti State, there is something called the Ekiti. I think it's called Ekiti Youth Hub or something like that. They just started it not quite long during the time of this Bao government, and where you can go and learn even skills and also work. I think they also provide internet or something. I don't have.
Is there a location for this?
I think it's in
like
Ekiti. Yeah, but I don't know where exactly it is. But it's something that has to do with maybe Ekiti Innovation Hub or something like that. It started. I think it started maybe last year or thereabout. And in fact, some children, even kids are going there now to learn, like machine learning, where be able to build robots, AI.
Really?
Yeah, so they're actually, it's something that
so I mean, people can search for it. Yeah.
So it's there in Ekiti right now. So people should take advantage of that. And there are some hubs, like I told you, I started the first co-working space in Ekiti. So co-working space is where, like you said, you just take your own laptop there. We might be able to provide you with electricity and internet. It was really a challenging time when I started that in Ekiti then, because we didn't have, so I had to buy generator almost every time we on generator, and we also bought internet for people at some point. But so there,
is this still there now?
No, so because one of the challenges is that we were using a rented apartment. So when I wanted to leave, I had to close that up. But there was another one called Christo. I don't know, maybe you know Christo.
Yeah, I know Christo. Christo in Adebayo, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So that Christo, there's a hub there currently. In fact, where you can go and learn like computer programming and all of that. You can also pay to use time and internet there.
You see, that's the essence of this podcast. Now, I'm sure a lot of people watching would learn from this, because people need to know places like this exist in Ekiti, because I'm sure if we have more places like that, it will really improve, people getting involved in all this tech instead of you wasting their time. I know people are saying Yahoo is paying or whatever. Instead of focusing on their time on doing Yahoo, which sometimes they don't even pay. Because we need to even talk about that too. Because I know that whether you want to talk about it or not, there is this high rise of people venturing into internet fraud and all that.
Internet fraud.
That we call Yahoo Yahoo in Adric or in Ekiti State generally, which sometimes it's sad to me because I feel like these people are wasting their time. Some of them, they don't even make money from this thing, and from there they venture into something diabolical or whatever because they've been frustrated, because they've been wasting their time doing. And if those people had invested the same time they're investing in that venture into like IT, into tech and all those things, maybe they would have even made it big now, legitimately. So I mean, we need to talk about that. So I mean, what do you think the government can also do? I know that we said, okay, yeah, you need to take responsibility, which is very, very important. There's no excuse. Like I said, there's no excuse. But what can the government also do to help with, infrastructure? You made mention of the BAU, the Ekiti Tech Hub, or I don't even know about that. Whether I'm just ignorant or I'm not current, but it also means the government is not doing enough in marketing marketing that hub, because people need to know that things like that exist so that people can take advantage of it. What do you think the government can do when it comes to infrastructural development and helping people to really for it to be easy for people to really venture into IT?
So that aspect of marketing or publicity that you mentioned is very important. I think that there are so many things that governments do that people might not be aware of, because these days now, not so many people listen to traditional media like radio, TV. People would rather prefer to watch Netflix than probably watch their local TV these days. So I think that the government should reach people where they are in terms, and that is digital, because every now and then you see people on their phones. So
WhatsApp, Facebook, everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. If the government is doing something, they should be able to promote it using digital marketing. I see, for example, there I think Sister Auntie Mary Omotosho, if I'm correct, posts a lot about the government on her page, but that is not enough. That won't go much. Now imagine she posts something like that and then she boosts it. Maybe she promotes it, targeting people within Ekiti so that they will know about it. That is going to really, really go. So people will be able to know that this thing exists in Ekiti. And I think that is actually one of the things that actually helped me when I was in Ekiti. I used to promote, when I was doing that co-working space, I created blog posts about it. I used advert to run, even targeting people in Lagos, maybe that might be coming to Ekiti and all of that. So Ekiti government, we need to promote what we're doing more. But in terms of, I think the government is trying, but we still need more. For example, we need infrastructural development in terms of like stable electricity. Is very, see, if we can solve the issue of electricity, I think more than 70% of Nigerian problems will be solved.
Sure, seriously. I don't know why. I don't know why we've not been able to overcome that problem. Seriously. Sometimes I always think about it like, why can't we have 247 electricity in Nigeria? I mean, I know a lot of people are using solar these days, but it's still very, very expensive, and I don't think it's that durable, and all that. So it's so sad. It's so sad. Yeah.
When I was in Taraba State, for example, in Jalingo, for example, even in some part of when I serve in Takum, when they take light, almost 5 minutes, they'll bring it back.
Sure.
So I mean, Taraba State government is doing something like that. I don't know what is happening there. Maybe they have a dam or something. But I think right from the time of Shegun and Ifa, they always talk about one particular megawatt that they are trying to build. I don't know if they have, because I've not really researched on that, but I know that they probably they mentioned that they are working on it, because if without that power, even the Ekiti knowledge zone might not really work. Although they say the knowledge zone will have 24-hour supply, so hopefully that will work. But yeah, power is something that is very paramount. But I don't know if that will solve our youth problem, because if even without power, we're still doing some, like you said, when we don't have power. So they now rechannel the energy. So that would take me to the second point. We need national oriented, or we are talking about Ekiti. We need Ekiti, maybe orientation department, where maybe they will keep educating people both on social media, on TV, about what they need to do to better their lives, right? So there are a lot of opportunities abroad and even in Ekiti that people are not exposed to. Why? Because they don't really know much about it. We need to, that Ekiti or state orientation program doesn't even need to only talk about maybe IT or anything. They also need to talk about our culture and all of that. So we need orientation more apart from power, right? So we talk about marketing, power or electricity, and then orientation. Then even or how do I put it? We need to now upgrade our curriculum, education. See, education, I think it was Nelson Mandela that says that with education, you can change the world. So if you have education, it's very important. Without education, I don't know, maybe I would be where I am today.
Me too.
Yeah, so education is very important. And when I was in university, our physics lecturer then, I will not mention his name, you see what they used to teach him during his own days, that's what he was using to teach us. In when I was in 100 level, because I did physics as well, even though I studied plant science. So we need to update our curriculum. When I was in university then, I used to think about, even though I didn't know where I would come, I used to think that, okay, because I studied plant science, sometimes, all this botanical name, you want to identify plant. I was like, I even shared with some of my friends, I wish that I could just snap a plant. And then when I snap that plant, that technology,
internet will just tell you everything you need to know. But it's happening. You can do it.
Yeah, now. It's quite easier now. In fact, with AI, you can just snap and say which plant is this, and it will tell you.
Tell you everything. Yeah, it's crazy what we have these days. Yeah, a lot of people don't know about this.
Yeah. Imagine that I had someone to guide me around that tech area, or maybe there is a scholarship, or maybe there is a fund that is going to go towards that. So we need to update our curriculum. Many of our professors or lecturers, they write papers just to get promotion. Now, I'm not saying every one of them, but they write papers to get promotion so that they could become, senior lecturers, so that
and not practical,
and not necessary base research day. And also, kudos to lecturers in my department now. When I was in university, fantastic, intelligent lecturers in Ekiti State University that have done great things. Those researches are just sitting down there. The government needs to start collaborating universities so that they can work on some of those researches and then integrate them into our environment. But we're not really doing that. So I think that these are some of the few things that the government needs to do, and we need to provide more funds. For example, like I said, Ekiti State government partner with, UK, VI, and they were providing. The last one I think was up to fund or grant of up to £8,000 or thereabout that was given to some people to start their business or to innovate their business. In Ekiti, just this year, we did that. We did, even though I was not there, but I was, I followed up on that. So these are the different things that I believe that we need to start doing to be able to get Ekiti to where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of publicity needs to be done. More publicity needs to be done. Like you said, orientation, very, very important. There should probably even be like a department or so, if they can create a ministry, department of civic orientation or something like that.
Yeah.
Or digital orientation, anything, something orientation, where they will put someone that knows, that is really passionate about. It's not just someone that knows. It's something to know something. It's something to be passionate about something. Like we are here discussing about it. It's not just because we want to talk about it, but because we are passionate about it. We have the vision of Ekiti that we are seeing in our mind, in our vision. That is why we are so we need someone that is passionate. I know the government is going to be watching this. Some of the government people will be watching this. So we need people to take all these things into consideration. Like you said, power. What can we do when it comes to power? I know, like you said, the megawatt thing, they've been talking about it. I know they said, the electricity is improving Ekiti a little bit now, but I don't think it's still like where it needs to be, because we need to have it 24/7.
That even reminds me that one of the things I'm going to do actually with this, after you publish this podcast, is I'm going to promote it on my page. I'll even pay to run some ads just so that people can go watch it, targeting people in Ekiti.
Wow, great. Thank you.
No worries. And actually, one of the things that I also remember is that when I was during the time that Fire Me, I think it was a Fire Me, I started a particular newsletter in Ekiti trying to share opportunities. And before you know it, the government copied me because I started my own first, and then some of them know me. So the government copied me, and they did their own. Very fantastic. They were now sharing weekly newsletter. That has stopped. I don't know why that didn't
That's
continue,
the
because
thing.
I subscribed to it, and I was not. Then, every week, for example, they will now share. One of the features that I like is that they will now talk about one prominent person in Ekiti State, and then they'll also talk about what is going on in Ekiti, and then also talk about some of the things that they're planning to do. That newsletter, I've forgotten that, maybe it's called Ekiti Newsletter or whatever. Then I think it was Akin Rotimi, that was the commissioner for education and for communication or whatever. It was very nice newsletter, but the current government, I don't know if they continue with that news, because I'm not receiving any of that newsletters. These are some of the things that, if that is done, it's gonna really, spark conversation.
That's why I was talking about passion, because like you said, they started it, they will just stop because probably because when they do it, people don't really see. I mean, the people that vote, they don't really see it as important. They feel like, now that one we go job, that kind of things, like you remember the first time of the fired me, like I said, it distributed 50,000 laptops to students and everything, do this tech that he did a lot when it comes to improvement, youth empowerment and everything. But at the end of the day, we know how he ended his first step. Like Fayose came and defeated him in all the 60 local government. How can someone that did all that lose that way? I mean, you understand what I'm trying to say? People don't really
I think you're correct, because people, some of our people, that's why I say that it's not just the government. We also need to take responsibility. Some of our people, we prioritize things that are not supposed to be prioritized. So even if the government sometimes want to do things that are going to really help the state, people's orientation wouldn't allow that to go forward. Because if people don't own a project, that is actually what we call sustainability. If people don't own a project, they wouldn't want to. And during the time of second fire me, because I was opportune to represent an NGO at one of the meetings. So he now started something before he gives the House of Assembly or whatever they call it then, before he gives them his budget, he will bring in representatives from different local governments so that they will tell them what kind of project they want. And as I'm talking like this, it's inspiring. It's making my head.
Sure.
That is brilliant. So everybody will come, they will talk about it. This is what we want. Because when people say this is what they want and they do it, they will own that project, and that is why that project will last long. They will be sustainable. Unlike when the government just decide that we want to do this for you, and they will do it. They might not like it.
I mean, people need to also do better. People need to do better. That's why we need to target younger people, catch them young, so that at least when you catch them young, when they grow, they will be the ones that would now be the people that we are talking about. Because when we are talking about the people, we are talking about older people that they don't really see the importance in all these things, So, and those are the people that really vote. But when we have people who are young people who are interested in policies and politics, and when I'm saying politics, I'm not talking about just attacking each other online on politics. I'm talking about being interested in what is going on in the government. How is the government formulating or working on these ideas or project like this. So, I mean, I hope the government is going to see this and do more. And I believe this conversation is going to spark even more conversation in this area. And I know you're also an author. I don't know, how many books have you written now?
Well, I think about 3 books so far.
Okay.
Yeah, the first book I wrote, I think there were 4. The first book I wrote was called Favored by Grace. So I wrote that as a project in university. So because there was in my fellowship, Redeemed Christian Fellowship, RCF in EXU, during the FYB week. So I wanted to publish it in our magazine, but I think the magazine did not, eventually materialize. So I just turned that book and I gave it out for free. Second book, I have been there before. It's more like an upgraded version of that one.
I think I've read that.
It became an Amazon best-selling book at some point. And then after that, I wrote WhatsApp Sales Blueprint. And this is on how people can actually use WhatsApp to promote their businesses, and that has made a lot of people money. So you can see some of these books online. And the last but not the least, I think that I've written so far is about fund. I've even forgotten the title now. Because I've not published it fully. It's about how you can use AI for marketing.
Okay. All right. I mean, we'll put some of the links to some of your books in the description box below, so that people who want to buy them or who need them can get them, especially the WhatsApp Blueprint. I'm sure it's very, very important, because I think you also do affiliate marketing. What do you what do you think about affiliate marketing? Because there is this misconception about affiliate marketing. People always feel like affiliate marketing is just all this bring someone, all this. I don't know what they see it as, like all this. How do I put it now? Like MMM kind of thing where you say, oh yeah, you have to sell this thing, but you have to bring someone. I mean, I know affiliate marketing is like you just selling for someone,
Well, people make mistakes that whenever it comes to selling, so many people, they don't have the right mindset about selling. And the truth is, there's nothing that you do in this world without selling. If you want to go for an interview, you need to learn how to sell yourself. If you want to create a business, you need to learn how to sell yourself or how to sell your business. Because if you don't know how to sell, you would lose a lot. Since the day I learned about selling or sales and marketing, my life has never remained the same, right? So affiliate marketing basically is where, for example, let's say you are selling shoes, okay? And then I now meet you and say, can I help you sell this shoe? So you now tell me that, oh, that's great. Anytime I sell your shoe, so let's say the shoe is 50, okay, let's use Naira. Let's say the shoe is 20,000 Naira. So you now tell me that anytime I sell that shoe, you're going to give me 10% of the sales. So 20, if I sell one shoe, that is 20,000 Naira. That means 10% will get 2,000 Naira, right? Sure. Now imagine that I now sell 10 shoes in a day. That is 2,000 multiplied by 10. That is 20,000 Naira in a day. That is simple as that. So when you sell something, you get commission. That is affiliate marketing. It's different from multi-level marketing where you have to have people under you. No, this one is the more you sell, the more money you make. And it's even sweeter when you now sell digital products that you don't need to do delivery. That's one of the things that I did in Nigeria. Then the most popular platform at the time was Expertnear. So I was working on it, and we made a lot of millions. It helped with my wedding. It helped with our travel abroad and all of that. And people still do it today. I still do it. I still made some Naira, recently from the same affiliate marketing. So, but the fundamental that everyone needs to learn, either you are doing affiliate marketing or any type of online business or any business at all, you need to learn how to do sales and marketing. Very important. Very, very important.
Is that what the WhatsApp blueprint is all about?
Yeah. So the WhatsApp sales blueprint it talks about how you can use WhatsApp. Because when I did a research, when I started affiliate marketing, many people were using email marketing, doing a lot of things. When I came on board, I started making sales within 2 weeks or thereabout. I made 400K. The guy, Tony Omotosha, who happened to be also from Ekiti State, he was in Lagos, big guy, he's currently in Dubai now. So this guy, saw that I was bringing in sales, was like, Shola, how are you doing this? Can you write something about it? And that's how I wrote that book. So it talks about how you can sell using WhatsApp. It's not just affiliate marketing, although I majorly concentrated on affiliate marketing, but it can also teach you how you can sell on WhatsApp, because WhatsApp is the most popular most used platforms in Nigeria.
So when people talk, when people see WhatsApp marketing, they always think about putting your stuff on status and maybe posting on groups. Is it a level higher than that? Like, I know there's WhatsApp business, and it's now connected to Facebook, that you can really even run an ad on WhatsApp business and things like that. So is it still in the line of WhatsApp status or posting on groups and things like that?
Yes, it's part of it actually. In fact, even when we started then, when I wrote the book, WhatsApp, running adverts using Facebook, that is now really integrated with WhatsApp, had not yet started. But basically, I talked about 5 different ways to market on WhatsApp. Number one, you can use status, which is what many people know. Your status is very powerful. You can start using it when people see, for example, you can talk about your product today and then talk about education tomorrow, or just basically educating people about your product. So status is one of them. Secondly, you can use broadcast. All right. You can use, for example, you can select like 50 people in your contact that that, or you think that they are most likely to buy your product. You can just send them broadcast.
Message, yeah.
Yeah, and then from there, some of them will buy from you.
Mm.
Then we have groups, right? You can
Mm.
create a group where you'll be sharing about your business. Now, you don't need to just go and just add people or everybody that do not want to be in your group, just add them in your group. No,
that's another thing.
That is very irritating. People will leave your group. People will leave your group, and they can even report it, and WhatsApp can block you.
Sure.
So instead of that, you can actually just send a broker and say, if you're interested in so, join this group. Or you can post it on Facebook, on other platforms, so that people can then join your group voluntarily. All right.
Yeah.
So I will not talk about the other two. You can find out in the book.
Yes, I wanted to say, don't tell us everything. That's why I come back.
But the mistake that many people make is, they think that, when you start posting on WhatsApp, it's enough. You need to have more contact, because you see, it's just rational. The more people see your product, the more they are likely to buy. Right. So some people, they only have like 20 contacts on their WhatsApp, or 50 or 500 contacts on their WhatsApp. Every single day they upload on status. They wonder why people are not buying. They won't buy because they bought from you before. Some of them have bought from you and they won't want to buy again, or they will wait for another long time before they buy. You keep marketing to the same set of people. You won't grow. All right. So that is why you need to learn things like how you can grow your WhatsApp contacts. For example, when I was in Nigeria, I have more than 15,000 contacts on my WhatsApp.
Wow.
15,000 my contacts. So when I post something, in fact, at some point I had to disable.
I wanted to ask how are you doing? Even me, that I don't have 15,000.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get tired of the number of messages and WhatsApp groups and all that they add me to. So
So even with AI now, there are some apps that you can use to automate your WhatsApp response. You don't necessarily need to be online to respond to people. For example, there's an app called Auto Reply, which you can download on Play Store, because it's actually, at the last time that I checked, is available on just Android. So you just set it up. Once you set it up, what you do is that, for example, when somebody sends you a message, it looks at a keyword. You might have sent that keyword. For example, if somebody say, I want to buy this, it should just automatically reply with the message that you've said. But even with AI now that is coming now, there's going to be more tools that are going to even be more powerful to help you manage your contacts on WhatsApp. So
so I'm sure that we'll still have time later on to basically just focus on AI. I just want us to talk about AI. I mean, just share ideas on AI, because I know people are sleeping on this AI thing, and I see it as something that we need to really focus on, because it's the future right now, and in years to come, people will be making millions, even from just AI and all that.
People have started making it. People
are even making it already. Yeah, sure. So we'll find time, maybe, if God allows us to, get more time, just talk about AI alone and all that. So I mean, thank you so much for joining. I mean, it's really, I'm sure it's a lot of people watching this are learning a lot already. And for people who might want to reach you personally, what is the best way to reach you? Is it on Facebook, on Instagram, or do you want to share your number? I don't know.
The best way to reach me, to be honest, is my email. It's info@solamathew.com. So Sola is info@SOLAMATHEW.com. So if you have anything, maybe you want to make any inquiry, just send it to that email and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. You can also follow me on social media platform. Just search for Global Sola. Global is spelled as Global, GLOBAL, then Sola, SOLA. So Global Sola, and across my different platforms on LinkedIn, you can just follow me. Let's connect together.
All right. Thank you so much for joining this podcast. I'm sure when next we call you, you'll be able to join us like this again.
Yes, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been amazing, and I think people should subscribe to your YouTube channel. Subscribe to follow him online as well, so that you can, because this is valuable conversations. I've watched some of the episode, and I believe they are valuable conversations that people need to be having, particularly at this time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. My regards to the family, and I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, wonderful month, and a beautiful year.
And you too. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining.